I wanted to do a video today on Trisha Paytas. Today is the 15th, November 15th, so I'll probably release this tomorrow on Tuesday. I'm going to link below a video that I did on her April 1st of this year, so this was during the time that she was on Frenemies. That will give you a wonderful overview of my biases towards Trisha Paytas. It kind of catches you up on some other finer details that I may or may not discuss in this video, and also just kind of what I saw psychically at that time that has led up to present day. Alright, so I haven't thought necessarily on where I wanted this video to go. I'm kind of feeling like I should just kind of talk to you guys about some personal experiences that I have, because I think Trisha serves as a wonderful, unfortunate example of the kinds of toxicity that can permeate around you and what you can do about it. Because from the way that things seem, it does look like you, Trisha, you're avoiding actual healing. You're avoiding confronting your demons, and right now I see you at a holding point in your spiritual journey. Okay, it feels like you're floating. That's the feeling that I'm getting, is that you're floating between something that's going to drastically alter your life, and it's up to you once again, because you've had opportunity after opportunity, test after test, like spiritual test, and each time you've taken a darker route. You've taken a route that does not serve you, and it hurts other people, and it hurts yourself. And now this is what I see is one of your final tests. I feel like you have one or two more after this. However, the next one would be closer to your 40s. It would be like mid-40s, like 45 to 47 years old. This particular test that you're going through now is going to last until you're 35 years old, is what I see. So it's from now, or the most recent past, or the most recent future, somewhere around this timeline, that you're going to be coming up to another spiritual test of what you want to choose. And from there, you can fill in the blanks for that. Alright? Now, I'm going to stick by what I felt in that other video. I haven't watched it recently, but I can feel it in my mind being pointed towards. My guardian angels are pointing towards it and pointing and like highlighting it in my head, that you are, irregardless of your choices, going to live a more humble life. That is inevitable for you. There is no running away from that. Okay? So it's how you handle that, whether you handle it with class and dignity, which dictates the rest of your life, the rest of your future, and your mentality, right? There's a lot of healing that needs to occur with you. What this test looks like to me is being drawn towards your health. Okay? There's an image that I get of a doctor, and this doctor is a male. I feel like there's a female around as well, but I feel like there's a male that's speaking to you, and he has sympathetic eyes. Like, his eyes look almond shaped, and what he's telling you is very serious, and he's trying to be choosy with the way that he delivers the message to you, because he doesn't want you to panic, and yeah, that's what he's doing. He's delivering some sort of health message to you. And from there, there's a fear that wells up in you. This fear is welling up in you because it's rooted in this idea that there's a person that you want to turn to for sympathy or for support, and there's this feeling, this intuitive nudge from you that this person doesn't have your best interest in mind and doesn't actually care about the issues that you're potentially having. Now, this can be symbolic, okay? What I'm telling you could be symbolic. This isn't necessarily what's happening or what will happen or what has happened, right? I'm just telling you how I see it, and then if this is supposed to be interpreted in a different way, then so be it, right? I'm just telling you straight up. So you're turning to this person for moral support, emotional support, and although they're seeming to give it to you, there is that emotional disconnect and that intuitive, it's very strong. Your intuition is very strongly pulling you towards the fact that they don't care. It's like you need to leave an unhealthy situation. You need to move away from this situation, and basically it's an equivalent of healing yourself and from the inside out. And this person is part of the outside that needs to be healed. Like, it's like distancing yourself from the toxicity of your external circumstances, and then from there you can concentrate on healing your internal toxicities. And I'm also being drawn to this image of an absent mother. So what I'm getting is this feeling of abandonment and a pulling away of a mother. It's like whatever you're doing in this moment of my vision is very much tied to feeling like you were abandoned, or feeling like you weren't supported by your mother, or feeling something like that, right? And so there's some sort of parallel to that. What I kind of feel pulled mostly towards is that you're kind of seeking from this person validation that is similar to a mother's validation, while simultaneously trying to neglect yourself because you felt neglected. Now, the warning that I'm getting about all of this has nothing to do with taking care of your health or taking care of these relationships that are surrounding you. I mean, it could involve that as well, but the biggest thing is how you handle it with the public. The test is whether you're going to try and garner sympathy from this or not, whether you're going to bring attention to it or not and get into the good graces of people because of this, or are you going to heal in silence and take it seriously? Because what I'm seeing is a reference to 4 to 5 years ago. There's something that happened 4 to 5 years ago that is very parallel to whatever I'm talking to about, whatever I'm referring to. So there's a parallel there. And it's basically saying that was a test then, and you neglected it, like you failed pretty much, and that put you to where you are now. And there's an emphasis that I'm seeing of this reality that you will always have the ability to change course. Like there will be multiple opportunities, but to say that everything has a reason or everything will work, like it's almost like deluding yourself, and there's a false prophecy in that. There's a false prophecy in saying everything's gonna be okay, I can do whatever I want, and then change it later. Because it's like, they're showing me a road, a long road, and like the analogy that I'm getting is it's a fine line, like a steady road that you can drive down. You can go left or right, and you can only do that for so long of like choosing going down this path of like looking both ways, like looking left and looking right, saying like to the right is like, I know better, I'll do better. Looking to the left is saying, oh, I don't know who I am. I treat people a certain way because I don't really know what's going on with me, or I've had these issues and this is why I do it. Or, you know, it's like feigning ignorance. And it gets to a point where you have to make a choice. You're at the end of the road. You've lost those opportunities to basically lie to yourself and lie to other people. Where you know what you're doing is wrong. You know what you're doing isn't serving you and it isn't serving other people. It serves no purpose whatsoever. And I'm going to pull myself out of this reading really quick and just talk for a moment about my personal life and some things about this. So I feel very positive. To be honest with you guys, I feel very positive about what I feel about Trisha Paytas, because I've dealt with these people my entire life, fortunately and unfortunately. And I mean this in the sense of like just regular people who are bitter, who are narcissistic, who are psychopathic. I've dealt with those people. Then I've also dealt with people who intentionally turn to witchcraft, who intentionally turn to demon work. And I do feel that you, Trisha, have sought out demons. You have sought out witchcraft in spell work in order to get the things that you desire and to wish harm on other people. I see it very clearly. And I don't know if I mentioned this as straightforward as I have in those previous videos, but I think one of my frustrations that I have, as frustrated as I can get for someone who is not emotionally invested in this, is why these psychics, there's several psychics, okay, that support you. I find that very curious and not really confusing, but suspicious. And I think not only should other people pay attention to that, but also you yourself, Trisha, you should pay attention to that. Because how it's so blatantly obvious for someone who has been a psychic their entire life and very familiar with what goes on in the spiritual world to see exactly what you're doing, okay? And it's just so wild to me that these people actively support you in something that is clearly self-destructive. I mean, that's something that you should really absolutely consider. Take into consideration the people that you've selectively surrounded yourself with and why they're allowing this to happen for you. Granted, you have your own responsibilities for your own life. You're responsible to make the right choice, but it's also their responsibility to distance themselves from you and not to feed you lies. If you know better, then you should speak up and you should say something about it. And this is along the entire spectrum of people that are surrounding you, Trisha. It's very fascinating, okay? It's very fascinating because not only are these demons infiltrating your soul, your spiritual, first of all, they're inhabiting yourself. Your body is what I'm saying. It's not just dark energy surrounding your soul and surrounding your spirit. These attachments are permeating your body and permeating your mind and permeating your spirit. I have no doubts about this, and it's really up to you on whether you want to rid yourself of this. There's no exorcism, there's no prayer, there's none of that that can actually help you from external people other than yourself. It's you who has to work for it. It's you who has to rid yourself of that. The only thing that external people can do that will help with prayer is that it'll cause a separation of you and these people, because it's protecting them from you. It's protecting them from all of the issues that you have. And it's allowing you to just fester in your negativity, fester in your demonic life, and have to handle it yourself and self-destruct. You're going to blow completely up in your life if you don't take control of this, if you don't pass this next test. This is all for entertainment though, you guys. I'm just making things up. I'm just goofing around, you know. It is what it is, right? If you want to read the passage below that I have, you take it for what it's worth. This is just storytelling, okay? So, any hoodles. I also want to point out something that I've been thinking lately too, which is you know how they say, like, you are the closest people that you surround yourselves with? It's like the 5 closest people that you surround yourself with, that's who you're most like. So you need to be choosy about that. That includes in spirit. That includes the people that you are spiritually surrounding yourself with. That includes the people that you're watching, the music that you're listening to, everything. All of that affects who you are in a spiritual way. And when I think I've talked about this before, I don't know in how much detail. Off camera, I have dealt with serial killers. Off camera, I've dealt with psychopaths, narcissists, like criminals. Okay? It all is rooted from a place of poison. It's a poison that happened to them in their lives. Everyone, it's like there's not anyone on this earth or anywhere else that is pure evil, because we all are a product of God. We all have that light within us. It's just a matter of what we're allowing to fester, what we're giving life to in us, and what choices we're going to be making for that. Okay? And so with these people that I've done work with, what I see, not only that sympathetic part that I have for them, and an empathetic part for them as well, because I've gone through my own hardships. There's so much spiritually that I've gained of seeing how we all relate to each other. But the problem is, it's a spiritual battle that is going on in these people's lives. They have actively allowed these entities into their lives, and sometimes even welcome it. And it's wicked. It's absolutely wicked. I have people, so that's on the extreme, right? Now let's take examples of people that are in my personal life. Again, I've dealt with this my entire life, of all different kinds. One of my best friends, ex-best friends, was involved with demons. They loved dealing with that kind of stuff, and their life was horrible, absolutely horrible. That's why we're not even friends anymore. It's the same thing. They cannot be happy for anyone. They try and sabotage everyone. They fester in it, and it's like a challenge. It's almost a challenge to them, where they look at the devil in the face and it's like, come on, bring it. Like, let's see, what more destruction can I cause? What more chaos can I cause? When the reality is they're not causing anything. They're just seeking out problems in other people's lives where they can just hyper focus on it and act like they did something, when in reality they're doing nothing but sabotaging themselves. That's the whole trickery of the entire thing, is that you're tricking yourself. You're making a fool of yourself instead of realizing that you just fester in it because it's more entertaining than actually working on yourself, you know? Like, even for her, it's like anything that was slow paced or peaceful was boring. She always had to go, 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 go. There was always something that she wanted to distract herself with, right? And I see that very similar parallels, and it's on a spiritual level as well as in a personal level, you know. And the same thing with her, where they're constant churning of victims because there's more people around that don't know the truth of what she's doing, right? She would not admit that kind of stuff anyway to people, right? And she would lie through her teeth about every single thing that was going on. And yet I know why the root of it is. It's trauma that's been causing this. It's from trauma. But no one can help you at all. No one can help you. It only starts with yourself. So what I'm going to do for you, Trisha, so I'm going to do another reading. My attempt with this reading is to just strip you down to your core and let's see what's going on to some capacity. And then from there, maybe that would help you with your own healing, with your own personal growth, right? I'm warning you already. I've warned you before in that other reading that I linked below. You need to stop what you're doing. You need to stop. And you need to honestly remove yourself from all of these spiritual things and looking for answers everywhere. They told you that then. Your guardian angels told you that back then. And they're telling you this again. It needs to start with yourself. You don't need to find it through God or through Allah or through whatever you're doing. You don't need to find the answers through there. You don't need to do any of this extra stuff. You don't need to go to all these readers or pull tarot cards yourself and do all of these things. You need to stop doing that. It's not helping, because all you're doing is opening yourself up spiritually, this pathway, this gateway for things to flood into your life. And it's going to go down very, very quickly, okay? Because if you don't pass this test, which is coming up very, very soon, is what I see, very soon. If you don't pass it, I promise you, by not promising you, because I don't know, and I'm just storytelling here, is what's going to happen is a sharp decline. You thought that this was a decline, what happened since April until now. You haven't seen anything yet. That was very steady and slow. And I'm totally serious about this by being, not totally serious. You need to really take heed. Take caution, take heed. Okay? So, what do I see? I see the same guardian angel that I saw however long ago. It's a man, I feel, or he's representing himself as a male. Although it could be a strong female presence. I'm really not good with genders. But it feels like a masculine presence to me. It feels like someone that was in your waking life. Like as Trisha Paytas, there was someone who passed away and is watching over you, is very close to you. And there's a lot of sympathy and apology coming towards you. The apology is saying, I'm sorry. I wish I would have done better. I wish I would have known. I wish I would have paid more attention. I wish I would have taken you more seriously. I feel like you were either joking with them about something when they were alive. You were hinting at something while they were alive. There was something that you were looking for companionship or for answers or for reassurance or for safety. Sanctuary is kind of another word that I'm getting from them. And the way that it was delivered was in a joking manner, or just like a playful teasing manner. I feel an emphasis to your eyes. It's like you're looking and looking and looking, and it's almost like you're trying to psychically communicate to them at the time. It's like you're trying to show them in your eyes that something's wrong, something's not right. It's like looking at them and saying like, please understand, please recognize this in me, please see that there is something going on, please see that. And then it's like this feeling that these like snaps, this like this clear communication, like a clear intuitive communication with them, where in that moment you think that they understand you, and you think that you can hear them, you think that you can read them. And from there, where the reality is that they kind of felt that too, like during the time that you would look at them, it's like it feels like they're much older than you, like they're an adult and you're younger. I feel like you're little, and I can't pick up the age, but you're little. I'm asking little, 7 years old, 14 years old, how old? And the words that I heard were too little. I was too little. And I see you looking at them, and in that moment, like, I feel like because they're just this, it feels like it's like what they're telling me is like, I was an adult, like I was just had my own life going on, I had all these things going on, I should have paid attention, I should have stopped and listened, I should have really paid, it's like I should have paid attention is what they're saying. And they feel so like there's a guilt and remorse and sympathy that's still tagged onto you, like an energetic tag from them, because that's something that they regret. There's something that they are going to have to heal in their own personal lives as they carry on, as they carry forward. But right now, this is the message that they want to convey to you as this emotional tag, the spiritual tag, as who they were in that life that you know them as, how that's connected to you, right? Because this is something that's just like a fragment of who they are on a greater scale, like a greater spiritual scale. So that's what's going on there. And they're like just repeating, I should have paid attention. And there's this moment that I feel where, like, what I'm seeing, the story that I'm seeing, honestly, like, I don't know if this is the reality or if this is supposed to be connected, like, to tell me something. Because what it reminds me of is when I was a child and, like, people would come over, like, my family, like, well, my family, it would be, like, my uncle, my cousin, my aunt, and they would come over, and then it was, like, this safety or, like, this feeling of, like, a reassurance or something that I would get of just having, like, people that I felt I connected to, related to, and weren't harmful towards me there. And so it's pulling me towards my personal experience there. So I don't know if that's telling me who they are in relation to you, or if that's like that they would come over to your place or you would go to their place, or what. I'm not sure what that's telling me, okay? But I can see, like, them basically saying, like, their lives were so busy being an adult and having all these things going on that they never really paid attention to, like, their spirituality, or they never really paid attention to intuition and, like, just, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes parents, I guess, or, like, adults, like, you know, when they're talking amongst themselves and the kids are trying to talk and they just blatantly ignore their kids. Like, that's kind of what I'm saying, where it's like, it's not intentional, but it's just, they're kind of lost in their own world. But in those moments that you felt like you were connecting with them, they felt that too, and they thought that they thought there was something there, but there's an emphasis on, like, I didn't know. Like, even though I thought that, it's like I thought that it was for real. I thought that maybe I was making it up, or maybe that I wasn't making it up, but I just didn't know what that was, you know, something like that. And, like, I just wish that I would have been more supportive of you. I wish I would have, like, if I had known, if I would have, like, things would have been so different. And that's what pains me, is to know that something would be so different, and that I could have been your savior. I could have been that for you, to make things so different for you. It's like, I'm hearing, like, I wish you would have told me, but I understand that you did. Like, I understand you told me, but I wish, it's like almost that I wish that I would have just listened when you told me and really, really paid attention to what that meant and what was really going on. So, Let her know that I love her. That's what I'm hearing. Let her know that I love her. She needs to know that I love her. Let her know that I love her. Let her know that I'm with her. I'm seeing plaid. Like, it's kind of like these colors mixed in. It's like kind of greenish plaid. This is what they want you to know too, is what a treasure you are. They want you to understand and recognize what a treasure of a person that you are, and how worthy of a person that you are, and how much contribution that you can have in the world and that you've had in people's lives. It's like they're saying, like, don't discount the parts of your lives where you have been a positive contributing factor. Just because everything's going on, just because you're feeling some kind of way, or that there's like a lot of things that need to be worked on, don't discount the fact that you are worthy. Don't discount the fact that you're special, and that you're loved, and that you're cherished, and that I'm hearing like there's so much more for you to see. There's so much more. And I'm hearing him say like it's like he's on the other side. It's kind of how it seems, is like he sees the spiritual world, and it feels like he's anchoring you. Like he's your anchor, and he's like wanting to elevate you and say like I want you to be able to know that there's more on the other side. I want you to know there's more on the other side, and there's also more to your life than just what you see or what you're experiencing or what you know. It's this emphasis on like there's more, like it's about what you know. It's like it's like you don't know. He's telling you like you don't know something, like you don't know it all. You don't know that, like it's like they want to show you something. Like he wants to show you something. It's like you don't have all the answers right now. You don't have them yet. You're not supposed to have the answers right now for yourself. You don't know what it is, even though you think that you know right now. You don't. I want to show you this. It is a need. I've corrected myself because it's a want, because obviously you have every choice that you want to make, Trisha, but what I see is that that's their task, even as I crossed over, is that they were supposed to, or they are supposed to show you something on the other side. I feel a reference to a dream. I don't know who had this dream. It was either you or someone close to you that would have shared this dream to you. And what this dream is a combination of something that would be practical, like something that could really happen, that is kind of wrapped up in your fears, and then it displayed itself in a way that is impractical. So like an example would be like a talking dog, and that talking dog told you something that you really didn't want to hear because that's something that you're freaking out about and you're worried about. It would be something like that. And what I'm hearing is, this is from, now I'm seeing your guardian angels. So it's like other side, and your guardian angels are saying yes, yes. Something about that is yes. Like there's a lot of truth to that, but it's also wrapped up in your fears. So a lot of whatever you were hearing is real, whatever that means for you. There's a lot of reality to that, mixed in with the fantastical parts of your mind that kind of created that dream. And I see him separate. He's separate from your guardian angels. It's like he's lower, but he's like looking down like this woman is looking into this treasure chest, And I see you as this treasure to him. You're his treasure. And he's crouched down. Not his arms aren't up, but he's crouched down, like from heaven, essentially. Is kind of an analogy that I would give, I guess. And he's like crouched down looking at you. He's watching you, he's observing you, and he's protecting you, and he's ushering you through this life. And he's trying to connect you, and he's kind of saying the same thing about what I was saying with all of these different religions or whatever I was talking about before in some other videos, where it's like you need to cut them all out and just kind of focus on yourself, because he's saying like when you cut this all out and you look inward, you're gonna find me speaking to you. You're gonna hear me, and I need you to hear me. I want you to hear me, and you know you need that. You know you need this from me. I know you're wanting to like hear me again, the way that you heard me then, like in real life, like when I was alive. And now I can listen to you, and now I can hear you, and now I can see everything differently, and I just feel everything differently. And like he feels comfort and confidence in his role, and how like it's like he's up to the task of guiding you, you know? It's like, don't ever feel like you're too much trouble. Don't ever feel like you're, you know, a lot of work to deal with or something. It's kind of what it's something like that. Like, it's basically like if you've been saying like, oh, I know I'm hard to deal with, or I have all this. It's like in those moments of you saying that in private life, he's saying like, I'm up to the task. Don't ever think that you're too much for anyone or anything to handle. Like, I can help you, and I'm ready to help you, and I'm happy to help you because I love you, and I want you to be happy. I want you to feel content. I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel comfort. The biggest thing is comfort. I want you to feel comfortable and safe. And he's recognizing the fact that this was not provided to you. This was not provided to you. And I feel this icy feeling. It's icy. Icy, icy. It's like you're icing out the truth. You're icing out your spiritual awakening. You're icing out this person, this guardian angel. It's like you're tempted, or will be tempted, or whatever you're doing, slipping back into your current ways. And it's up to you. I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to regret it. I've seen it happen time and time and time again. It does not work out. It does not end positively for you if you don't face your truths, your own truths. And you don't handle this in an honest and good way. Okay? And this is, I'm talking the range, y'all. This is everything. This isn't just my ex-best friend or some serial killer I worked with. It's not funny. I don't know. My delivery made me laugh. I'm talking like high-level people too, okay, that don't have these junky repercussions. I call this the junky repercussion because they're able to navigate it because they have, you can't get into the club, okay? It's a select club of people. You're not ever going to get into it. You can, you know, lie to yourself as much as you want, but you have to be honest with yourself. This is up to you. This is your final warning. It is what it is. You know, I really would like to see you be, instead of a lesson, a redemption arc, right? A true redemption arc. And not just for other people to see and to believe in, but for your own soul's growth. The choice is yours. So that's it. Bye, guys.